Well, The Walking Dead, Saints and the Sinners, Chapter 1, repolished and enhanced for PlayStation VR 2. I'm going to try to make this video as straightforward as possible. I'm just going to tell you pretty much what I like and what I don't like. So let's get with the stuff that I like. The first thing first is the graphics. The graphics are beautifully polished. They still have that, comic style to it, pixel shaders of comic style, but in a pretty cool way. All right, and it looks good. Looks very detailed. I don't see any jagged edged lines. Everything looks sharp and detailed. That's because we have the power of PlayStation 5, and of course this is a headset that it's tethered to PlayStation 5, and it's using the GPU and the CPU of PlayStation 5 and all that memory. So of course that's going to help. The reason you don't see graphics like this on the Oculus Quest, it's because it's a standalone portable VR device. Now, having said that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Oculus Quest 2 version. For a standalone device, it's pretty amazing. Same thing with Resident Evil 4. For a standalone device, what the Oculus Quest 2 is doing, it's pretty darn amazing. Okay? So let's not knock off Oculus Quest. Alright? Even though my channel is about PlayStation VR 2. But I have Oculus Quest 2, and just because I have PlayStation VR 2 and it's a little bit better, I'm not going to knock off the Oculus Quest 2. Okay? Not to mention that the Oculus Quest 2 has all of the other applications and stuff and features that, of course, PlayStation VR 2 doesn't have at the moment of this recording. So, which would be, what's today's date? March 23rd, right? 2023, year of our Lord. Okay, so I like the graphics, and of course graphics look much better and polished up here on the PlayStation 5 version, as they should. Another caveat here that makes it better on PlayStation 5 is the fact that we have a much higher resolution, 4K resolution. Now add that 4K resolution with a OLED screen and high dynamic range and 110 field of view. Of course, the clear winner here is the PS VR 2 version. And to sweeten the deal, you also got Sense controller with adaptive trigger and touch sense on the adaptive triggers. You got the force feedback on the headset, where you feel it on your forehead. The rumbling feature, I could just call it rumble. Haptic feedback, it's just a rumble, it's what it is. You call it higgy-me-jiggy rumble, doesn't really matter. It's just Sony calls it haptic feedback because it hits a little bit harder, but it's a rumble. It's just you feel it vibrate a little bit stronger, a little bit better. Okay, but you have that feature on the PlayStation VR 2, and you have these adaptive triggers, so when you're using a gun or when you're using a knife or something, when you want to stab a zombie on his skull and his forehead, you feel it actually while you're stabbing him really hard. So that really adds to the experience on top of the visuals and graphics. Okay. And same thing with the flashlight. When you're holding a flashlight, you can feel the batteries as you turn it on. Even you turn the flashlight on and off, it feels like you're really holding a flashlight while I'm here walking through this graveyard. So small things like this really helps the experience, and that's all great. That's fantastic. Of course, this is where the PlayStation VR 2 version comes in. and takes the, the most recommended version. What's also interesting about the visuals of the PlayStation VR 2 version is that it runs at the 90 frames per second. I personally don't think 90 FPS it's needed here. It's nice that it's here, but I don't personally think you need 90 FPS here because it's not that type of a game. You need 90 FPS or 120 FPS on games like Pavlov or any kind of first-person shooter VR games. You're going to need that, or a racing game. But for this one, honestly, it's not warranted, but it's cool that it's there. So the visuals are excellent. I like the visuals. They look great. There's a certain depth of atmosphere. Well, when you put on the headset, you feel like you're really here. You see those, crows flying over you. You see that statue. I mean, everything looks really as if you are here. It feels like you're really here. So to me, that just adds to a more immersive detail. And that's all great. And then you add 3D audio on top of that, hands down, this is the best version to go with. If you look at the PC version has pretty much same graphics. It can handle same resolution, well, depending on what type of headset you have on the PC. If you got a Pimax, then yeah, you'll be able to do 8K for sure. But you got to remember, we were playing this on a console version on a PS5, and PSVR 2 is really, I think, probably the best choice here. So that's all great. Yes, I'm already recommending this game for you to pick it up on the PSVR 2. Okay? And it's all fine and dandy. The visuals are great. The graphics, resolution, HDR, OLED, haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, sense touch on the triggers, all of that stuff is great. And I'm not, going to complain about any of that. It's all great. I love it. But what I will complain about is the stuff that I don't like. Here's what I don't like. There's been some bugs on this game. And bugs like I don't have a weapon on me. The weapon that I have crafted and I don't have it anymore. When you go over here to your truck, you have a crafting right here where you can craft certain items, like the judge. This is the club called the judge, and you have to collect parts. And collecting those parts, it's a pain in the butt because you have to work your way around these zombies, and you have to work your way around these foes, enemies, different faction of them, and you have to make sure you come back alive with all of the goodies that you have collected, right? And if you die, then your rucksack, which is right here, your rucksack, it's going to be left at that place where you died. And you got a couple of tries. And if you're not able to retrieve your rucksack, then you lose all that stuff that you were collecting, and you have to go back and do it again. Now, if you do make it, and you make it here to your truck, which is your safe house, your school bus, I'm sorry, well, I call it school bus, and if you make it here to your safe house, which is a school bus, it's just painted white, that's all, then you can go ahead and craft if you have enough items. Well, what happened to me is I got all the stuff. I got all the nuts and bolts and workable metal and pistol frames. I got all that stuff. And if you watch my live stream from yesterday, you will see that I was able to get this Magnum, this revolver. And I holstered it. You'll see on the live stream, I have holstered it. I have put it inside my holster. And when I was ready to go to do the mission, which would be right over here, where my little boat is, when I was about ready to do my mission, guess what happened? Once I arrived at my destination, my revolver was not there. So you basically click on where you want to go and you arrive there. And when I arrived there, my revolver Magnum was not there. And I was like, what the F, you know? What's going on here? And then I realized that was a bug. And it kind of sucks that you have these bugs. And there was another bug. I was also doing a very important mission, and I was collecting some very important items that I wanted to bring over here. And once I died and I came back and I wanted to go to retrieve my rucksack, guess what? I was missing an arm. I didn't have a right arm on me. I don't know what happened to it. I mean, my controller was working because it's connected directly to the USB-C cable, so the batteries are always charged. And I was like, what's going on? I hope my, sense controller didn't die. But no, my sense control on the right was working just fine. But I don't see my right arm. I was like, dude, I cannot just do it with the left arm. I need my right arm. And my right arm was missing. So these bugs is something that's really annoying. I know there was an update today that they have updated the game. So I hope that fixes these issues and these problems. Look, I'm just, like I said, this video is straightforward. I'm not going to make it long. I just want to be straight up, straightforward. I'm not going to, sugarcoat anything. I like the visuals. I like the gameplay. I like the challenge. I like the story too. Everything's great, except these bugs. Is the only thing that kind of like pissed me off a little bit is the bugs, Everything else I like, you being able to upgrade, to get your stamina, to expand your stamina, to expand your items and stuff so you can endure longer fights. That's pretty cool. That's rewarding. I like that, right? And I like this game. And I highly recommend it on the PlayStation VR 2. However, hopefully these bugs are fixed, because it really sucked. If you watch my live stream yesterday, you're going to realize that this really sucks. I had to go spend an hour and a half to get that revolver, and now it's not there. And I holstered it in, like I clearly holstered it in. So same thing happened to me with the club. When I got this club, I put it right here. I stored it right here where my shotgun is and the axe is. I stored it right there. And guess what? Once I arrived at my mission, it was not there anymore. So there you have it. I like the game. I recommend the Chapter 1. I would recommend that you play the Chapter 1 first before you jump into Chapter 2. That's what I'm going to do. Once I finish the Chapter 1, then I'm going to jump into Chapter 2 and have a much better experience whenever I get to the Chapter 2. I know there's a Creed Rise of the Champions coming out, the boxing game. I'm looking forward to that. People have been asking me about doing some Pavlov matches, which I will do, but you gotta remember, playing Pavlov, it's like working out, man. It's I can do maybe 2 hours tops, because it's a workout. That game, it's a workout, dude. If you want a working out game, same thing with Rise Champions, Creed Rise of the Champions. It's a workout game, which is great for you to lose weight, but you can only do it for maybe a couple of hours. That's it, and you shouldn't exceed more than that for your health, So, well, there you have it. I hope that this, 10 minutes of this video that I spent I hope that this really gives you a straightforward what I like and what I didn't like. Now, the bugs, it's something I understand it happens, but let's just hope that these bugs don't happen quite as often as they did on my live stream. You know, like I said, I like the game. I like everything in it. Visuals, it's all great. It's just the bugs. And bugs, it's something that developers could easily fix. And if they can fix it, that's awesome. Then this will be like easily 8.5 out of 10. Highly recommended. Uh, Hands down. I mean, this is a great experience. So, well, there you have it. Just a straightforward review. I hope you like it. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a good one. Love you all. Be good.